Hi, my name is Joseph Grosowitz, and welcome to my vlog discussion 4 of reading pop culture. Today we'll be covering the section on violent media is good for kids from Chapter 7 paired readings. Gerald Jones, an author, critic, and comic book writer, spent 14 years for publishers like Marvel Comics and DC Comics. He's published books like Killing Monsters, Why Children Need Fantasy, Superheroes, and Make-Believe Violence, and Men of Tomorrow, Geeks, Gangsters, and the Birth of the Comic Book. In this essay he writes, he shares that pop culture violence can be more beneficial than people realize, mainly towards kids. A lot of people are taught that violence is wrong, and that rage was something to be overcome, and cooperation was always better than conflict. That's what our author, Gerald Jones, felt by his English teaching progressive parents. And he was placed in a small experimental school that made him feel afraid to join his friends into boyhood, and after everything he went through, he just accepted to be alone. That was until he discovered the hero, the Incredible Hulk. Even though they preached lofty messages of benevolence, they were good for Gerald and others because they were violent and juvenile at the same time. After reading the Hulk and following him, Gerald felt like he had a fantasy self to carry his stifled rage and buried deer for power. He had a fantasy self who was itself unafraid of his desires and the world's disapproval. His fandom and love for the character only grew from that day forward. And it carried on into his 30s, where he found himself writing action movies and comic books. He wrote some for the Hulk and had his own creations turned into action figures, cartoons, and computer games. The message that seems to be sent to children nowadays is that craving for symbolic killings and violence is wrong. In that process, we risk confusing them about their natural aggression, in the same way as the Victorians confused their children about their sexuality. When we try to protect our children from their own feelings and fantasies, we shelter them not against violence but against power and selfhood. And that summarizes my video on Chapter 7 paired readings on why violent media is good for kids. I hope you enjoyed the vlog.